Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Haroon Mushtaq, lecturer Multan Public School and College, with my video lecture on creative writing, that is second part of paper 1, that is writing paper. A few basic information about creative writing. Creative writing consists of 30 marks. As you know, paper 1 is of 60 marks, 30 marks for directed writing and 30 for creative writing. And total time for this paper, paper 1 is 1 hour and 30 minutes. And you are supposed, it is just a rough limit given to you that you are going to spend round about 1 hour on this paper, on this creative writing, as you have to write 350 to 500 words on it, whereas in directed writing you have to write 200 to 300 words. So according to the word limit, it is suggested to you, it is not necessary to spend 1 hour on it. You can spend even less time or more time on it, but be careful to have enough time to solve both the parts, and then with some spare time to recheck your script. So 30 marks for this creative writing, and you have to write 350 to 500 words. Again, my advice, don't bother about word limit too much. That I had told you in the previous lectures. Then in this case, you have choice of, you will be given 5 essays, 5 topics, argumentative topic, descriptive, 2 topics are given, narrative topics, and one another topic, sometimes a one word topic or sometimes another descriptive or something else like this, and you have to attempt one topic. Okay, so you have plenty of choice. So in this case, I had told you earlier, you should be very careful while choosing your topic, on which topic you are going to write. Don't decide it by looking at once, just think for a while. Be very judicious and wise. Be very careful about choosing your topic. Then after choosing your topic, make a complete plan. Don't write without making your plan. Plan is a rough outline of your story. I am talking about story because today we are going to discuss about the narrative writing, that is story writing, because most of the students, 95% or maybe more than 95% of the students, they attempt narrative writing. Okay, so choose your topic very carefully. Plan your topic, plan on the piece of paper or plan in your mind, however you are comfortable with. If you plan on a piece of paper, then after planning it, before writing your neat work or your final work, you must cross the your rough points and then start writing on a fresh page your final draft. One thing, as it is my topic today, the general mistakes the students do while attempting this part, creative writing part. What as the British examiners, they send a report after every examination pointing out the general mistakes of the students, not individually but general mistakes that they find that students of this particular area they are very weak in, I mean, punctuation, or they are very weak in paragraphing, or so many things. So likewise, over the years, as a teacher, I find that this part, creative writing, is most difficult for most of the students. For most of the students, the maybe it is not difficult for few students, but most of the students is the most difficult part. Okay, then uh, so you have to give particular focus, you have to prepare yourself well for this creative writing. One thing more about this creative writing, or now let it say narrative writing. Narrative writing. So, as we have particular marks for particular things in, let me say, in directed writing, some marks are assigned for fulfilling the task, and then some marks are meant for your use of language, and then some marks are meant for I mean your style, or your I mean your use of good language. If we talk about summary writing, again, summary writing marks are awarded to you with with a certain criteria. I mean, they look for what they look for in a summary writing. They look for the relevant points. They look for your own words, and then they look for good use of language. Apart from other things, I mean, writing in one paragraph, writing in the given word limit. But in narrative writing or in creative writing, the examiners, they take the holistic view. Holistic view means they start reading your script, and while reading that, they keep on making their mind. They keep on judging different things, whether your story is good, there is coherence in it, there is unity in it, whether your use of language is accurate, you have used precise vocabulary or not, you have paragraph your essay according to a good effect, and few other things also. So there is no separate marks awarded, I mean, for grammar, or for your handwriting, or for your use of vocabulary, good vocabulary, or for use of your other things. So keep it in mind, they take the holistic view, overall view of an essay. If it is good, if it is appealing to them, then they will definitely award you good grades. Otherwise, definitely you will going to suffer. Now, as most students, they attempt narrative writing. Okay, one thing more before going to this thing. Uh, okay, let me say that as today I am going to discuss the general mistakes. You call it mistakes, or you call it, I mean, flaws, or the things that are weak in your narrative writing. The first thing, students don't bother to write the topic on which they are writing, or at least the number of the topic. I mean, if it is 1, 2, 3, if it is ABC, write the number of the topic at the top, or better to write the I mean the complete topic. For example, if it is an essay on the endangered species of birds in the world, so it is better to write the complete topic on it, because in school the teachers, they are acquainted with your, I mean, with your handwriting, or if they are not able, they come to class and ask whose paper is this. But in O level, or I mean when you are sitting in the final O level paper, they will definitely they will not guess that on which topic you have written. So first thing is, write the topic, or at least the number of the topic, and then proceed on. Now what are the general mistakes? I don't want to discuss, I mean, the opening or this and that. There are plenty of things that are, some have gone outdated. I mean, the use of a sound, or with a dialogue and this and that. Let it come spontaneous to you. Your opening should be very spontaneous, or at least spontaneous looking. Spontaneous looking. As I always say that your narrative writing or your essay should be original looking. I don't say it should be original. I know it is a fiction, It's a self-created story, but at least it should give the impression of a real story, of a real life. So that will be your great success. Okay, now start, but don't start like this once upon a time or this and that. Still some students are doing it. The better, I mean, it is not better. Flashback style is still in vogue. You can also adopt some other method. But I mean that use of noise or sound, or that is very old style, and there are typical very few noises. I mean, train of bell, and then uh, doorbell, sound of doorbell, or a third sound on the roof, or these things that I myself read, or I myself learned in the very beginning. So start your paragraph very spontaneously, but at least the opening line, or I mean the opening paragraph should be very good, because you know the first impression is the last impression. A very general, I mean, this proverb, first impression is the last impression. Now, what other things you should be caring for, or your examiner should be looking for in your creative writing? Main thing, there are, I think, the two things that I find in abundance, or two mistakes, or two flaws, or two weaknesses. Number one is that the students, they write off-topic stories. Off-topic. Or at least if it is not off-topic, we can say the students haven't justified the topic, because they have a certain story in their minds, and then they try to push, or try to stuff that story in the topic. So as I have said earlier, that your story, or your words, or flow of sentences, they should be spontaneous. Now you say, how can that spontaneous, how can we be spontaneous? It is all depends on your reading habit, it all depends on your writing habit. If you keep on, there plenty of time in O level, so keep on reading different novels, different books, different story books, newspapers. I am a very strong advocate of reading newspaper. In my some other lecture, I will tell you the advantages of reading English newspaper. Okay, the main flaw in the story in most of the students is that they write off-topic stories. They write stories that are not justifying the topic, that are, I mean, the examiners, they are not, I mean, they are not students of your age. They are very experienced people, and they easily judge that this student, he is just try to insert or this show or push this story into this topic. So don't do like this. That is why I told you to make a plan, to make a complete plan of your story before carry on with it. Make a complete plan. Then most of the students, they try to write very, I mean, mysterious stories, adventurous stories, or stories very full of suspense. I mean, these things are good and these things are recommended in your writing. But if you don't have command over that, then don't try it. And even don't write stories, I mean, on supernatural elements or stories like that, Harry Potter, or take vocabulary, situations, expressions, all these things from there. But don't base your stories, I mean, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and this, I mean, these fantasy stories. Okay, again, realistic looking stories. Realistic looking stories are the best stories. Then second thing is that first I am pointing out two major mistakes. Second thing is use of punctuation marks. Believe me, the students, they are very miser in using punctuation marks, very miser, and they leave it on the teacher, on the examiner to judge by himself that here the sentence is ending, here I am using a new sentence and this and that. So if you are, I mean, if you are using punctuation marks, is a difficult topic, but not is a difficult, I mean, thing, but not all the punctuation marks. At least you should start with capital letter, end with a full stop, put a comma where it is necessary, put inverted commas, put a question mark, put an exclamation mark. So that I have a very old example how without punctuation the meaning of a sentence changes, but I don't want to quote you here. So these are two major mistakes that, according to me, it's my opinion. Maybe I have encountered those students who commit these two mistakes. Then there are certain lesser kind of mistakes. What are those mistakes? Okay, the students don't have any idea how to switch on to a new paragraph or how to start a new paragraph. Simple thing, do make paragraphs, otherwise your story would be very bad and boring looking. So make paragraphs. There is no limit, there is no hard and fast rule of making paragraphs. It's up to you. You can make 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, 6 paragraphs, 7, and vary the length of your paragraphs. Vary the length of your paragraphs. It should be not like this, that you are writing, and suddenly you realize that after 12 or 15 lines you are still on the same paragraph, and suddenly you start writing new paragraph without any reason or without making any sense. So one thing is, one episode, if it is complete episode, here means that if you complete one thing, let me say a very simple thing, one scene, one incident in the story, uh, then you should start writing the next paragraph. So this is very simple, I mean formula. There is no rocket science in it. When you complete writing a thing, writing an incident, start writing next paragraph. I have told you to vary the length of your paragraphs. Vary length of paragraphs. So now coming to, I mean, the things that really matter. The things that really matter. I'm not saying that these things don't matter, but the things that really matter, they are, I mean, your plot, how you weave your story, how you knit your story. It often happens with students that while writing, because they have the story, whatever it is they have in their minds, so they think that my story is very perfect, but they don't have the the required guts in form of vocabulary, in form of sentences, good sentence making, I mean in presenting a situation that is very vivid or that is very clear to the reader or to the examiner. So this is where a story becomes confusing, and it is totally ununderstandable for the examiner or for the teacher. Uh, with practice, again I am saying, with developing reading habit in you, you can overcome this flaw, you can overcome this thing, or you can improve this thing, and then do write different things on different topics. Whether sometimes if you are sitting in your some leisure time, write 6, 7, 8, 10 lines on something. Maybe you have some argument or some scuffle with one of your friends in the school, so start writing that thing, so it will improve you. I mean, writing is very must. You must write. Some people are very poor at writing. They are good at thinking, but they are very poor in writing. So that is why I am saying you to develop reading habit, think it, then put it on a piece of paper. Next thing is that is very common, but there is it's a compulsion. It's a part and parcel. It's very important thing to use precise vocabulary. You must know the precise vocabulary. In my previous lecture in directed writing, where I told you about directed writing, and I discussed 2 directed writings, one about an earthquake and second about an accident. I mean, if you have some particular vocabulary in your mind, that it will be very good. Uh, I think it is just that is enough to tell you about precise vocabulary. If you, I mean, just I can give you one example. Uh, Let me think last time whether I gave that example or not. I want to give you some other example. Okay. Suppose, okay, let me say that there is some kind of situation where there is a robbery in a bank, and later the police, they uh, generally for most of the students, it is I mean, in this part of the world, the students, they mostly translate from Urdu to English. While writing, they mostly translate from Urdu to English. So I met these situations. I met these situations. I met these kind of writings. That is why I am pointing out all these things. Suppose वो लिखते हैं कि जी पुलिस ने अगले दिन जो है 3 करोड़ रुपया बरामद कर लिया. नाउ बरामद की, अब वो कहते हैं जी इसकी हम कर देते हैं एक्सपोर्ट या इम्पोर्ट, जो भी इसकी इंग्लिश है. ठीक है जी. Actually, I am not sure about this export and import. I think in English I know export are the things that you send to other countries, and import that you things that you take or I mean that you bring from other countries, that is import. But in this case, these words are not suitable. These are very clumsy looking words if you use this. के पुलिस ने 3 करोड़ रुपए बरामद कर लिया. So in this case you must have this word, I mean confiscate. Confiscate mean to take something in legal custody, especially by some law enforcing agency. So here is one example of precise vocabulary. I want to give you another example. Confiscate. Okay, a boy, he killed, a man killed another man by putting his hands on his neck and then pressing it. So it is again very awkward looking. So you must know the word strangle. I know most of you know these words. I am giving you comparatively simple examples so that you can understand what is precise vocabulary. So, and again and again I am telling you that you cannot become a scholar, you cannot learn all the vocabulary, you cannot improve your vocabulary within a day or two, or by just sitting and opening the pages of the dictionary and writing few words. No. Slow and steady and you can improve your vocabulary. Keep on improving your vocabulary, or adding to the store of your vocabulary, I mean bit by bit. So in this way you can improve your vocabulary. So I want to end my lecture by pointing out to another flaw that most of the students they make. I mean, they are very confident in the beginning. Oh, I have plenty of material to write on this story. Okay, they start writing without realizing how much they have written. Then suddenly they realize, oh, I have written lot of words. Maybe I am going, too much over the word limit. suppose 700 words. One situation. Secondly, they suddenly realize that, oh, I am running short of time, so now I have to wind up my story. So in both the cases, they wind up their story in a very, in a hurry, and in that hurry, all the good work is spoiled at the end. At the end, so you have to keep all these things in your mind. I mean, your time management, your plan of the story, okay, your paragraphing, your word limit, and so many other things that I have told you. But hopefully, I mean, you have got something from it at least. And now I am giving you an assignment as a homework. You will be sending it on my WhatsApp. I am going to give a narrative topic. One more thing. Uh, if it is instructed to you, suppose a line is given to you. After that, I decided not to help anyone again. If they ask you to start a story with this line, you must start your story with this line. If they ask you to end your story, finish your story with this line, follow the instructions. If you ask you to include this line in your story, then you can put it anywhere where it is suitable in your story. But nowadays, most of the narrative stories, they are based on stories. A story based on this situation, based on. So today I am going to give you a story based on a certain situation. But again, I request you, I advise you, I suggest you, please, while writing this, don't forget all these things that your teacher told you. Okay? Keep those things in your mind and then start writing a story. Please give weightage to the instructions, or I mean the lecture or the teaching of your teacher. Okay, your homework, write a story based on it. As I entered the room, I was shocked. Now, in this case, you can also include this line in your story, but it is simply write a story based on this line. It is up to you whether you want to include this line in your story or you just want to write on this situation by not writing the same sentence, by writing it with a little, I mean, change or amendment. Okay, so today I will end my lecture here, and please do send me your homework after 2 days. After 2 days, I mean, today it is Monday, Tuesday, on Wednesday. Okay, inshallah we'll meet on tomorrow on Meet app for discussion on this lecture. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, please note it down and then ask me in the tomorrow's Meet discussion session. Okay, Allah Hafiz, stay blessed.